The double dose of absolute comics this week, as we have not only the first arc of Absolute Batman closing, but the debut of the Absolute Flash. Wally West is here in the Absolute universe, and it is a very interesting take indeed that we are going to be getting into really, really soon. We've got a full house on deck. We've got Cale,
What's up, hot dogs?
Marco,
Kalo Queso.
Tyler,
You're
and I'm Sean. Thank you for being here with us, whether you are live or in the future. Make sure that you smash that like button either
Smash.
way, because we are going to have a great conversation about the
Count 'em.
six books that we are here to talk about this week. We've got Absolute Flash #1. We've got Absolute Batman #6. We've got The New Gods #4. Sonic and DC #1. One World Under Doom #2, and Bug Wars #2. Pretty interesting books on tap today. Let's waste no time. Let's get into it. Let's talk Absolute Flash #1. This is written by Jeff Lemire with art by Nick Robles. Nick Robles, who did I forget where I know him from.
We
an
met
image
him
book.
at
Nick Robles, right? Yeah.
we met him this past Comic-Con.
Yeah, we did. He was doing something with Tiny Onion.
That's right.
But colors by Adriano Lucas, Tom Napolitano on the letters. So a lot has been made of what the Absolute Flash was going to be. How different is it going to be? We've heard about no Speed Force. We've heard all kinds of things. But I don't think we exactly knew what to expect from the first issue. So there are some really interesting things just straight away. It takes place across different periods of time. It flashes through time as we see Wally build a bond with Barry. We see Wally in conflict with his father. His father's trying to keep him away from what Barry is working on, and Wally's mother has died, so there's conflict there. But we also see him flashing forward into the future where he appears to have powers. There's something very bizarre going on with him, and he's being hunted by the Rogues. Cale, where did you land with this first issue of Flash?
Not as hyped as I would have hoped. But I didn't hate it. It set up a lot of questions that I am a big fan of, and I think my biggest criticism is I didn't feel like there was enough.
What I guess in terms of criticism is probably the best criticism you can get.
I suppose. Yeah.
But I felt like not enough with respect to getting me a little more engaged. It felt like it touched on the things and themes and setup that it needed to, but outside of that, I felt like the reason for me to worry about this this version of Wally being hunted, I didn't end the issue being like, oh my god, he's in danger. And typically you want a bit more of some of that to be able to bring you into the next issue, and then it teased out a lot that I think probably had people, I'm sure people popped off for, and just tangentially knowing the characters, it felt like they leaned into some of that a bit more than maybe playing into the excitement of the story.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm kind of in the same boat. I liked it. I didn't love it. For me, this felt the most like a DC book. This could have been brand new character who just happens to be called Wally West, in the DC universe. It didn't feel as distinctly different that Batman, Wonder Woman, and even Superman felt. This just almost felt like a reboot rather than something brand new. And it's not and even I think the art as well. I mean, I think Nick Robles is a clean artist. There's that double page spread in this where Wally's freaking out, and there's just that insane Speed Force, bright yellows and reds. I thought was great, but he's a very clean, straightforward artist. I think the art in the Absolute line has been distinctly different to kind of visually take it away from the main line of DC. That even artistically, I kind of feel the same way as I did about the actual content of the book, where it's like, all right, this felt like another DC book.
Agreed. Yeah, very much agreed.
It's solid though across the board. It just wasn't different enough for me.
Yeah,
I think that difference is going to come with Wally's powers.
Sure.
And whatever that ends up being, because it already sort of looks like whenever we see him run, it's almost like he's opening up little gates or something, little panels or windows
Time
or
sliding or something.
yeah, it feels different in that way, like a different angle on Speed than we've seen before.
And to be fair, this is the first Absolute book where we actually get an origin told in real time.
Oh yeah.
So maybe that's also what makes it feel a little old hat for me, instead of the new school feel that Absolute Batman and all the others have felt. Yeah, I think this one will work with time. It's definitely more interesting than I felt for a Flash book in recent memory. So I'm at least there for that. You're muted, Sean, on Zoom. Yeah.
Thank you. Whoops. Hey, Near. What's up, Hayden's Hideout? Jesse, good to see you. Scriptured, what's up? Kazbot, how's it going? We've got a lot of you here with us tonight so far. Thank you for tapping in. Hayden with 2 super chats. First one for $5 says, my pick of the week is Absolute Batman number 6 for the single page of Batman punting a child. Honorable mention, Nightwing 124. That ending, though. We will be talking about Absolute Batman and his crimes against children a little bit later. Gooner pick of the week, though. Heat Seeker Combustion number 4. Tuxedo Tiger Naughty variant. How does Tuxedo get away with those Marvel and DC covers? She-Hulk and Emma Frost, googly eyes. I'll have to take a look at that after we get through with this review, but thank you, Hayden, for kicking us off with the super chats tonight. I really like this. I thought this was pretty good. I was able to connect with Wally, feeling alienated because he's in, this is the military town essentially, and he doesn't know anybody. His mother died. It's pretty clear that the relationship with the mother was stronger than the bond with his dad, and we can feel that. We can feel that fracture, which I like. He's not in control of his life the same way he's not in control of his powers. So I appreciated that. I like that we got Barry early, but it appears that he's not. Well, who knows how this shit's going to play out? But it appears he's not going to be too much of a physical presence in the book. But I like the relationship that we were seeing built between those two right away, and I really like the flashing between days uh, thing that they did here. That was really cool too. It just added to that like hecticness and confusion. It really, to me, it really puts you in his shoes of like not knowing what the hell is going on.
Maybe it was that like hecticness and freneticness that for me kind of felt like I was getting tossed around, which I guess plays to your point, but for me getting introduced to the world, and like you're establishing this new character, I felt like that could have been maybe a little bit cleaner, a little bit more, for lack of a better term, hold my hand a little bit more. Um, just as we acclimate into this.
Interesting. And that's just coming from like just a like a new Flash reader, or
Not even. No, I don't know. It felt a little discombobulated, the issue for me with the time things, and I could follow along enough, but I'm not connecting there.
here's where my issue came in with the time stuff in terms of the book is storytelling is kind of jumping back and forth between time. I thought it was time travel. Because in my
Was
head
it?
it's like Flash, and then Flash is jumping forward in his own timeline back and forth, but he
Was it
doesn't
not?
react to it, so I don't think it is.
It- It felt weird because there were moments where the transition felt seamless,
Or sudden, yeah.
or as seamless as sudden. Like, it just the yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
The
It's
one where he
specifically-
flashes back, the one where he has a conversation with his dad. It says
Yep.
1 day ago, and
Yeah.
you see it's almost like he enters his consciousness in that moment, like
Yeah.
he flashed back
Yeah.
in time.
Yeah.
That's why I thought they drew attention to it so much that I thought it was time travel. And that's what it was. I think
I
it's
thought it was.
because it's Flash. I might be bringing external stuff into that.
No. I think it is. His
Yeah.
consciousness is flashing.
He is time traveling.
Okay, but he doesn't bring attention to it because then he has a conversation with his dad, and he's not.
But he might not know what he's doing yet.
Okay.
Mm,
So
The-
we may be experiencing this at the same time he is.
Could
sure.
be. Could be.
I think that's the exact point of the issue. Is
Yeah.
that he doesn't know what's going on, neither do we, but something is happening to him that's causing his consciousness to flash between moments, in addition to the powers of speed that we typically associate with the Flash.
Mm. Did anyone almost get tripped up by the first interaction with Barry and like your dad, and then he's in the very next panel, and I'm like, wait a second, what a
No,
what a
there's-
crazy reveal.
There's no way they would make Barry Wally's dad.
They wouldn't, but it flowed right into that next sentence, and I was like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought this was really good. I really like the art. It's clean, and I guess it's conventional, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Rafa's
No, I
art
don't
in
disagree, yeah.
Absolute Superman is conventional. It looks really good. This is a fantastic style, and I think too it's gonna come down to the way it looks when Wally's powers are in use.
Yep.
And so far, those scenes were excellent looking.
I think that is going to be dependent on how I feel about this book. Is that use of the power set and any changes that Jeff and Robles would have, planned for that. But also, I do enjoy the fact that Wally's 15 here. He's a kid. So this is our first teen absolute hero as well. So I mean, yeah, we our Superman's young, our Wonder Woman's young, our Batman's young, but this is even younger. So I'd be curious to see how they lean into that and what does that mean, especially in this quote unquote dark side influenced world. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential here, especially like the quick little, stinger at the end here where we get like glimpses into a near future, with like the gorillas, and I think that's Grodd that we see pretty early on. That little capuchin is actually Grodd, I think, with the brain.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that was in concept art. He was
Or
listed
is
as
it
Grodd.
Savitar?
No, the concept art listed him as Grodd specifically. So
Okay.
we'll see. But that is an interesting take on Gorilla City and what that could be. So that
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
lot of pieces here that excite me. It's just as a first issue, I wasn't blown away. Still a hard pull for me though.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the Rogues?
Man, I love Captain Cold.
Same.
I love Captain Cold.
You mean Captain Dilf?
Yeah.
Just anytime he shows up, it doesn't matter how he looks, as long as he's got the glasses and he's the leader of the Rogues, it works. And the
Yep.
personality is there. I think that's good. I think the Digger Harkness that we have here is interesting. That's a character you can play with and have a little fun with. The idea that he has looks like a drone boomerang that he's
Yeah.
personified, weird. But Captain Boomerang is weird too. So go with it. I'm fine with it.
I don't like that recent characterization of Captain Boomerang. It's
Like
nasty. I
Suicide
don't like it.
Squad, like
Yeah.
Post Identity.
Yucky.
Yeah, Post Identity is kind of gross.
Um, but that concept or the boomerang has a personality that he personifies. Sam Wilson does that,
Yeah, that's Red Wing.
so it's not
Yeah.
yeah, it's
True.
not out of the zeitgeist.
I don't know what the Rogues' MO is here yet.
Yeah.
My gut was they were contractors, maybe government contractors sent to kill him. So like that was a little much for me. I was like, all right, I like the idea of a rogue, of somebody that's doing bad things but has good intentions in a way. So I'd be curious to see how that gets played into here.
You mean people that work for the government?
Well, I would say maybe that's the reverse, but sure.
Easy pull. I thought this was awesome. I can't wait for more.
Yeah. Oh,
Paul?
I gotta go figure out how to get that Jeff Lemire variant.
It's neat, right?
Oh.
Yeah. If I see it, I'll keep my eyes out for it.
Oh, please.
Would you guys have had any more or less interest if Jeff Lemire was also drawing this?
I would have more.
More.
Yeah. Actually,
Less.
now that you mentioned that, I'm mad that's not happening. That never crossed my mind until you said it.
Literally, yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, that feels weird. That feels different.
That would fit that mold, but I think it's such a drastic departure. His
Wildly,
art
yeah.
is such a drastic departure.
Yeah, his thing is his style is indie comics. It's not superhero. It's not kinetic enough.
Yeah, his version of the Speed Force would just be a kid riding a scooter in the Midwest, in like a suburb somewhere. That's as fast as Jeff Lemire's art's getting.
Yeah, I think I would like it less too. But I was interested because, that would be different. So, yeah, let's see what the listeners have to say though about Absolute Flash. Every book we review, we put up a poll so you guys can vote and share your piece with us. 76% of you say poll pick of the week is 13%. So overall, that's 89% of you
Wow.
saying this book is worth your time. Pass is 6% and didn't buy or read is only 2%. So that's a pretty good ratio for the Absolute Flash.
Did I read that like this is the most ordered Flash single issue since before I was born, like 89 or something like that?
That is what I also read. Yeah.
Yeah,
At
so
That's wild.
180. Yeah.
Yeah, 180, which is very low. Like it's a fine number. It's just crazy that in the history of the Flash, no Flash book has ever sold more than, or only one has sold more
Yeah.
than that. That's
New
ridiculous.
52 and Rebirth not overselling that. It's wild to me.
No way there's no way it was going to be those.
Rebirth? Really?
Yeah.
Oof. I think that
It's
had
weird.
buzz on it.
But coming out of Flashpoint, you would think, like, I remember thinking, oh man, the New 52 Flash is going to be the book to read because, it all started here. Obviously, you read the book, and it's not the book to read if you care about the direction of the New 52.
Yep.
But I guess I would have thought 200K, but clearly not. The audience wasn't there for it.
No, specifically 87 when Wally became Flash. That's a big deal. Wow.
Yep.
There you go. Let's see. What do you guys have to say? Omni Mary Amen says, hello, gang. It's been a while since I've seen you live. So glad to be here. Well, Omni, we are live at the same times every single week. So we've been here. We've been here. We're always here. You got to be here. It's Thursdays at 6 p.m., Saturdays at 10:15.
We're chained up. Like, we can't leave. It's rough
Yeah.
sometimes.
Bombs on our heads blow up if we're not here. So
Cole said, anyone catch a look at Barry's suit at the end page? His arrow
Yeah.
is reversed of what Wally's suit is. Subtle foreshadowing.
Ooh.
Huh.
Well, it's in the logo, right? The S, it's like reverse.
But is it reversed to what
yeah,
the logo is?
I took that as thematic with the time things as he moves through time, that like backwards and forwards.
That Barry does.
Wally.
Who's on first?
Yo,
Boy.
yeah. What the hell happened
Interesting.
to Barry? He got smoked.
Who's the hooded guy? Who do you think?
Is it not?
Is it also Barry?
What a
Oh,
guy.
At the end, the stinger, with the glasses.
I just always assume it's Professor Zoom or one of
Yeah, it's a
those.
Flash character I don't know because my Flash knowledge isn't quite there.
With the glasses?
Yeah.
The one that says run? No, that's Barry.
no. He says mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably Mirror Master.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, duh. Yeah, mirror, mirror. Okay, cool.
Come on.
I'm dumb.
I knew
told you.
that.
Yeah, that's bad.
Matt Fisher.
Oh,
Go ahead.
my bad. Sorry, I forgot about that part.
Matt Fisher says, "Good morning from Udaipur, India. I missed this week, but from all the sites I've been hearing, The Absolute Flash is the book of the week." Matt Fisher, I hope you're having an amazing time in India. I was hoping you would
Whoa.
be here so I could ask you how the wedding was going. Congratulations to your friend. Absolute Flash was pretty good. None of our pick of the week, though.
No.
Hayden's Hideout says, "I think Absolute has so much praise on the internet that people are willing to check out a title even if they don't care about the character, like Martian Manhunter."
I kind of think Dennis Camp has more to do with people being hyped about Martian Manhunter than Absolute.
I mean the art too. That's Javier. What's his face?
Rodriguez. Right?
Rodriguez. Yeah, like that's like creative is really what's been bringing me, and I think that's why Absolute Flash has also never really been my most excited out of the announcements because creatively it also felt like it could just be any DC book. Martian Manhunter, even but based on those previews we got all week, that preview was almost my pick of the week.
I was gonna say they've been putting some marketing dollars into the back of these books because everything, even the Sonic one, had it.
Yeah, it was weird seeing it in the Sonic one. I was a little surprised.
Yeah, I was like,
whoa, okay.
wait a second.
Which publisher was this?
Yeah.
Everybody, by the way, should go buy Absolute Martian Manhunter physical. That's one you're going to want to have
Yep.
physically.
They've said that to the team, right? Wasn't there like maybe a reason to have it physically?
Yeah.
In terms of
the
storytelling?
art pops.
When does that come out? Is that
That
next week?
is, I will tell you in just a second. That is, yes, that is next week.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I'm in
Wait,
trouble.
no. I'm sorry. I'm bugging out. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, next week's the
Yeah,
last.
it is. It is. It is next week. It is
April 2nd.
26th.
26th.
Oh, I'm off by a week. Damn, I got that Wally West disease.
April
Time
2nd is
jumping.
Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, that's going to be hype as shit.
Ooh, Wednesday. Okay, yeah, I can pull that off.
Banksy Main says, "I'm a fan of the character Martian Manhunter, but haven't read a lot of his books." How many books does he have? The man, I don't know anything about Martian Manhunter, but I can think of I want to say two series that have happened in the last decade.
More than you think, and less that are any good.
In terms of solo books, Cale, I only know of the one. He's a team.
Oh,
book
there's some
guy in my
older
eye.
ones for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
he's
I
been
assume
around.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crossovers and whatnot.
So, real quick, we've got a lot more books to review, but we want to let you guys know about a couple things. First of all, this Saturday, we're going to be talking solutions to the problems in comics. We know, when we talk about industry stuff, there's a lot of stuff happening right now. A lot of it is not very good, but there are solutions and there are reasons to be positive. We're going to be talking about those reasons with Adam Freeman. I'm very, very excited for this conversation. I've referenced Adam Freeman around here many times. So finally being able to have him on the show is going to be really cool. And I think you guys are going to want to hear this, especially those of you who love to tune into our industry talks, but kind of get frustrated by the lack of positive solutions, things that can be done. We will be able to get through some of that this Saturday.
I can see the headline now. Can we fix the comics industry?
All right, I'll make that thumbnail right now. I got you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also-
we could just buy Diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's just buy Diamond.
Probably going for cheap.
Real cheap. I hear Todd McFarlane's in the market.
Hell yeah.
That's not even hyperbole. It literally
Rob,
is.
where you at?
Probably not even that cheap then.
But also, this Tuesday is our Jessica Jones book club. Hopefully, you guys are getting, well, Alias, excuse me. Hopefully, you guys are getting through your rereads. If you haven't started, get started. We'll be talking about all 28 issues. It should be a good time. That's this Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's talk Absolute Batman number 6. This is the finale of the first arc, The Zoo, written by Scott Snyder, with art by Nick Dragotta, colors by Frank Martin, letters by Clayton Cowles. So Batman rejected the cash offer from Black Mask. He did not accept the money. And Black Mask said, all right, well, somebody's going to accept my money. And so he put the offer out to the entire Gotham. Anybody who's willing to kill, anybody who's willing to rob, anybody who's willing to, you know, assassinate high priority targets, they're getting paid out. And it's happening all across Gotham. And Jim Gordon and Martha Wayne are under the gun, so to speak, because they're high priority targets, while Bruce faces off with Black Mask in a one-on-one. Marco, how'd you feel like this resolved the first arc of Batman?
I really liked the resolution. I think the only thing that threw me off was how did he, what kind of sensu bean did this guy take? Because my man got fucked up last issue, and then this happened literally two seconds later, and suddenly he can just kick ass again. So
Just Motrin. He took some Motrin. That's all.
yeah,
Yeah.
that aside,
ginger
though,
ale.
I thought this, I thought this was a great issue. It was full of that Batman AF shit, right? Like, being able to push forward, to go in, take out the bad guys. Dragotta again crushing it on so many things here. He's always strong, but there's always an issue here and there where I think he like has a moment where he excels, and this was definitely one. Off the top of my head, the panel, the two panels where he busts through the yacht wall, awesome. The homage to Dark Knight Returns, come on, dude, so good. Yeah, this was a great comic this week. I'm gonna see where we sit with it overall.
You're
for, like,
waffling
pick
on
of the
your
week.
pick of the week. I see you waffling over there.
Yeah, I am. We'll
Or
see.
a Batman title too for Marco.
That's big.
It
Wow.
would be absolute Batman for Marco, but that DC Sonic boy, that I know you, Marco. I know
Dude,
that book got you,
No,
Marco.
shut up, dude. No.
Shadow the Hedgehog, bro. Amy.
He said he saw Batman and Shadow have a moment. He said, "That's it."
I mean,
He
guys,
said, "Now I'm a DC
well-
fan."
we'll get to that. Trust me. I love this book. I thought this is great. I thought this is a great end to the Zoo arc. Anytime I see the Zoo arc, I just think of We Bought a Zoo. That movie with what's his face, JB Smoove, just saying you bought a zoo. Weird movie, but great end to the arc. I thought, like for me, like I like Scott Snyder. I think what Scott Snyder's doing here is really interesting and surprising, honestly. I did not know he had that dog in him still. That dude has a different breed of dog in him at this point. And I'm enjoying what he's doing here. The stuff the way that he kind of constantly just takes bits of preconceived notions of who Batman is and just turns it on its head. Like the fact in this issue that Batman immediately reveals himself to all his close friends. I was like, whoa, okay, that kind of just happened. And his friends are the Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, Killer Croc. Like, that's a big deal. The story doesn't really bring too much attention to it, but it's still kind of a big deal.
Or any.
Yeah. And like that it completely rewrites how the story will go forward because Batman now has an entire supporting cast that can help him. Like Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot is essentially his what's that pilot that Indiana Jones has with the pet snake? But like he's got like his whole crew of people now, and I think that's really interesting. And I think the whole trope throughout this issue was that we're constantly going between Batman and then Martha Wayne and Commissioner Gordon or Mayor Gordon. And it really played with you as a reader on whether or not Martha would be killed. Because you have that preconceived notion. You're like, oh, Batman's parents get killed. So Snyder really plays with your expectations here to the point where, like, I honestly didn't really know what would happen. And I was kind of relieved when she didn't get killed. I'm like, oh, I was feeling something during that exchange, even though I can see that he's messing with me and he's messing with the reader. And I thought that was really good. So yeah, this continues to like surprise me. Like as much as I love Dragota's artwork, I think it's great here. He punts a baby. Come on. There's that one panel where he he rears his foot back to punt this kid. It's Dragota picked the perfect arc in a kick to showcase that feels goofy, and it was hilarious. He pulls a No Country for Old Men and just demolishes Black Mask in a bowling alley. Or sorry, that's the other movie. There Will Be Blood. Got them mixed up. And yeah, it's just really good stuff, and it continues to surprise me. Yeah, dude, look at that. It's hilarious. I know we've all had that thought walking down the street sometimes.
Keep those inside. We keep those inside.
I'm trying.
I continually really enjoy the paneling in this book. Who's the artist? Their name just
Nick
Dragota.
Dragota, yes. The panel work in this book is just tremendous, page after page. The amount of panels is incredible, but each one is so specific. And Tyler pointed out, he uses very specific and particular moments that tell you exactly what you need to know in a teeny tiny picture. That's such masterful artistry.
Some of the panels are no bigger than like a silver dollar, like a 50-cent coin.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane what he can do in such a small panel.
Yeah.
One of the motifs that he has is you exit a page and you enter a page by the same kind of broken selection. Like, for example, you're coming into this page. This one doesn't have the same white borders that it does the gutters anywhere else. And then also in instances you're exiting said page, like where he jumps out of the fucking thing, and then obviously the first page, the big page splash, but then he comes back in, he's breaking through the panel on just like this one selection here. So it's just small attention to detail.
Marco bought his books physically so he can show off the art without a glare.
Finally. And even then,
and
even
let alone
then,
DC loves glossy paper. That's the issue. Yeah.
I think for me, I think Scott's Batman is just not for me, man. I think he and I just have different pictures of what Batman is, because this to me is just more hyper violent Batman that I just like. I feel like and not to sound like members of our audience, but I feel like we see hyper violent Batman all the time. And Batman, not only are his ears knives, but they're also radio controlled, so he can lower them and stab Black Mask in the eyes. Okay, come on. I really found everything around Batman a lot more interesting than Batman himself. Because to me, and I think I said this in issue 1, this character is still Batman, and it's like there doesn't feel like there's a difference. And maybe that'll change, like Tyler said, with the reveal of his identity or whatever. But Martha still being alive hasn't made a tangible difference to me yet.
But this whole issue, he's like sweating about that. He's having nightmares about it. Like it hasn't maybe had consequences, but it's affecting the way that he approaches potentially having to deal with Sionis here. And now that he has more allies who know who he is, yes, that'll play into the you know giving him more to do, but it's also more risk.
Sure, but we haven't seen that yet.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like we've barely seen Bruce and Martha interact.
Yeah, yeah.
So tangibly, like there's not that much difference.
I'm wondering if those things are gonna come down the line. Like they're setting it up, and it has been as direct here, but the same reason why they probably they're not gonna deal with the fact that he's Batman at the moment is because that's just fodder for story down the line.
For me, not only is this my pick of the week, I think that this arc of Absolute Batman is a classic. I really believe that. I think we've just watched the completion of an arc done by masters of their craft who completed a work that people will be talking about going forward. I really, really believe that. When I look at Nick Dragotta's artwork and these panels, and when I look at what Scott Snyder is putting down with this character and this world, and I just feel like we're lucky to be getting this and to be able to see this unfold. Um, the like it's not to me it's not like the most different version of Batman you could possibly see. But that was never quite the promise of Absolute. And I like that this is a world that is darker, and so it requires a Batman who is a little bit different than the one that we're used to getting. You know, this Batman doesn't have scruples about using force in a way that traditional Batman does. You know, he doesn't give a shit. He's not as protective of his secret identity, and we're going to see how that plays out. That's going to matter, of course, you know. Um, his mother being alive. I agree that it hasn't been exploited fully yet, but I also think it's something that's playing in Batman's mind. It's something that he's thinking about, that his mother could die the way his father died. And that's not something that mainline Batman really has to deal with. The fear and worry of losing another parent. We see that kind of done with Alfred here and there. But Alfred isn't his biological parent.
It's almost giving Batman a Daredevil aspect. Like Daredevil's always in fear of the loved ones he cares about being killed, and it often happens to him. But with Batman, it's like everything was kind of secret. Occasionally, he'll have a love interest that might, fill in that role. But this gives him like a good amount of supporting cast that are all available to be fridged for better or for a worse term. And I think that's kind of new for Batman.
Typically, Batman's allies are people that are in the fight. And so, yeah, I imagine that we're going to see at least some of these characters develop into the villains we know them to be, but some of them might not. And it could be cool to have his mother in his life. How does that play into it when the Joker comes around? You know, Barbara's in the fray. There are these characters here that we can see different things happen with. And for me, that's really exciting.
And I will commend Scott Snyder for a really dumb pun by making Oswald Cobblepot a pilot, a flightless bird that can fly. That's dumb,
Oh yeah.
but I
Fair.
enjoyed that bit.
And then Joker at the end getting real east of west with this like body transfigurations and whatnot. Now unleashing Bane. Interesting.
Joker looked like he's one of those liberal Democrats with the late term abortion adrenochrome filling his veins there with just a body full of fetuses.
This is some like Elden Ring
Yeah, it's
fucking
gross.
nastiness, dude. Like the Joker it looks like he's like rejuvenating himself, keeping himself fresh off babies, which is vile. Um there's like, am I looking at this final panel wrong, or is there like a baby hand
Yeah.
under the Joker's?
No, you're right.
Oh,
It
yeah.
reminded me of so we're led to believe this is the inverse of Bruce Wayne, right? So this Joker has all the money and all the resources. I think Scott's mentioned that, right?
Yeah.
So the idea that he's essentially become that, that rich dude who uses his son's blood to
Yeah.
transfuse himself.
Yeah.
It's just turning real life rich people shit into this most, Sean, Elden Ring, Miyazaki horror that is like, it doesn't ring Joker to me, but it rings true for what Scott has said this character is. And it's gross and I dig it. And I'm excited to see what that altercation will be because I feel like it's still a while from that. And I'm cool with these little teases at the end of each, the intro page and the end of the arc. I'm cool with that.
And I don't even want, like you said, it doesn't ring Joker to you. I'm good with that. Batman has
Same.
to be Batman has to feel more or less like Batman. Superman has to feel more or less like Superman. But once you get past those, like the titular character, go wild, do whatever. I'm good with that.
And plus, you've heard already. You already had a good Joker story with that Joker series that your cousin read. So like,
That was a great Jim Gordon series.
oh, true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know what to make of the end. It's hard to know what we can expect from Bane, but these continual teases of the Joker. Now we know Bane is on the horizon. Mr. Freeze is being teased for the next episode or issue.
Yeah.
And one thing I like too with Batman's best friends being his classic rogues gallery is those are the big guys: Penguin, Riddler, Catwoman, maybe not Killer Croc, and Two-Face. They're off the board as villains for this for now. So in the immediate, we kind of get these retellings of maybe some lesser known characters that I find exciting. Like maybe we could that's why we can get I guess Mr. Freeze is still pretty big, but we can get some lesser known.
The lesser known Bane.
Okay, yeah, I forgot how big Batman's rogues gallery is. Okay,
Yeah. I mean, I guess in Scott's case, he's looking at 2 years solid on this. You want to get your shit in. Hopefully, though, there is space for. I don't know though, because if you're gonna do different things with the characters, then do we need to go to the lesser characters? Like if it's not going to be traditional Freeze, and it's going to be a different take on Freeze, and he's going to do his take on all these guys. Does he ever get to Scarface?
to be fair, nobody's really gotten to Scarface.
Yeah. Yeah. Pick of the week.
We'll talk about it. Pull for now.
It was close for me, but as we've talked about it, I can't not say this is my pick of the week. So yeah, I'm picking this as my pick of the week.
I can't pass on this because of the art. I can't. The art's that good. It's a pull.
Okay. So what we're doing now, what I'm doing now is I'm putting up a poll because we've officially gotten through the first arc of all the Absolute books, right? So what I want to know is which one did you enjoy the most? Is it Batman? Is it Superman? Or is it Wonder Woman? The poll is coming up. I want you guys to let us know your thoughts. And while you do that, we'll read off the poll results from the Absolute Batman 6 review. 52% of you said poll, 31% said pick of the week. That's really high. Didn't buy a read is 11%, and pass is 3%. Are there people that are not buying this? And if you're not buying it, why? Why not? Are you not like what is not hitting for you with this book? Not that it's necessarily perfect. I'm just curious.
Cole brings a good point up here. Marcus Martin is on the art for Freeze.
Very excited for that one.
That is very exciting. Yeah.
Perfect. I can see it. The blue, the red. Ugh.
Yeah.
Simple colors.
Yeah. Oh, I love a free story that has the right choice of red. Yeah.
If I recall correctly, which it's been years, but if I recall correctly, Scott Snyder's Mr. Freeze New 52 reinvention was dreadful. So
Was it? I thought that was the really, really good one. Or am I thinking of the other guy?
Are we
The,
talking
White
the
Knight.
Murphy. I like
Yeah,
the
hipster
White
haircut?
Knight one a lot.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
The Nazi one, Sean?
Yeah, it ties him into the Nazi stuff and all that. But I thought Scott Snyder's just turned him into like a fucking psycho.
I
Iceberg monster looking.
Yeah.
no,
Wasn't
I
there
thought he was the
something like that?
one. Okay, so I thought that the New 52, Mr. Freeze was like the short hair, kind of young, svelte, fit guy that I think started in Finch's Detective Comics. That's where he first appeared. So Snyder had to play in that realm a bit. I don't even remember a Snyder arc of Mr. Freeze.
It wasn't an arc. It was a one shot of some kind. And I'm casually looking it up now, and there's definitely a lot of angry people on the internet about whatever Scott Snyder did with Freeze at the time. But I just can't remember. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm pretty sure it was like that he was a nut. He was obsessed with. Yeah, here it is.
Yes.
They show that Mr. Freeze has always been a madman who tortured animals and murdered his own mother. Victor and Nora were never married. Victor imagined it all. I hated that stuff.
Well, I wish
I
that was the case for
remember
me.
that. I found the Reddit post on it 12 years ago.
What
Holy
what
shit.
subreddit? Our Batman?
Our comic books.
Okay. Fun subreddit, actually.
Yeah. Lucas Halder says, Sup, pals. Joining late. Just wanted to say hi. Gotta hop out. Working a double. Catch the replay tomorrow. Lucas, good luck on that double, bro. See you live Saturday, hopefully, and enjoy the replay, dude. All right. This poll is surprising because Superman and Wonder Woman are tied at
Wow.
36%. Batman actually pulling up the rear with 27%. So there you go.
That's actually
That's-
surprising to me.
Yeah. Damn,
Huh.
really? Wonder Woman.
You guys want some hope in your books, huh?
What do you guys say?
I say Wonder Woman.
I think I would have said Wonder Woman, but I think Superman is creeping up on it. And I really like Batman also creeping up on it. I'm gonna go with Wonder Woman still. Yeah. It's very close though. We're on thin margins.
What? Superman. Easy.
It's not easy. You just saw me go through trouble trying to do that.
And you were wrong for doing that.
I just don't vibe with Jason Aaron. We'll talk about it here in a few minutes, but man, I just don't vibe with his stuff.
The Superman stuff has been what has felt the most distinct, like innovative in terms of flipping the origin, flipping the like pivoting the character on the axis point of who the character is. That
Yeah.
stays true, but the world around him is just transformed. I love
Yeah.
that.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
For me, it's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman at the moment.
Where does the Flash fit in for you?
If we were judging it by let's say we were judging by issue ones, I would say it was issue one of Batman, issue one of Wonder Woman, issue one of Superman, issue one of Flash.
Yep.
That's how I would break it down.
Munster Design said, got my Wonder Woman #1 signed by Hayden last weekend.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Did you tell them we said hi?
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Hayden's a cool person too. Like,
I gotta reach out to them.
but just before Wonder Woman released, we got to talk at Comic-Con, and their energy was very I can't even believe this is happening for me type thing. Like, so excited. That it was really cool to watch someone kind of just before the rocket ship takes off.
Just before the industry comes in and breaks them down.
With two books at the same time too. It was just a perfect storm for Hayden.
Banksy Maine says Wonder Woman has so much heart. It really pulled something out of me that I hadn't felt from other books in a long time, and the art is definitely my favorite of the three.
I think the art Dragoda is just bonkers.
It's weird though because we talk about paneling for both of them in such
Yeah.
vastly different ways.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
Dragoda, it's for me, what jumps out to me is how specific it is, and how each individual, even the smallest panel I could even imagine art can be in, is chosen specifically. Whereas Hayden's art does the same thing, but the panels are they're much more I don't even want to say cinematic because it's stuff that film can't even do. It's
Intricate?
specific. It's intricate. It's so
Yeah.
specific to the medium of comics.
I feel like it's design heavy, right? Because it's a
Sure,
lot of
yeah.
like repeating figures and things like that. Where I feel like Dragota's, I don't want to say functional. That's not the right word, but like it plays so good into the rhythm and timing of comics.
Into the form.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas Hayden's needs to be read from a page. You can read Dragota's book almost in like a panel view if you were in like a comicsology
Yeah.
book, and it would still work. But Hayden Sherman's you cannot. You need to be able to read view the panels and then view the page. And I think that's really, really interesting to me as a comics reader.
Dragota's art is Dragota's in control of time and space, and you're on Dragota's time, and it's impressive from a craft standpoint that Dragota is able to pull off those things because of how broken up those panels are. And I think with Hayden, it's impressive to look at somebody take a comic book page and figure out ways to slice it up and create these shapes that thematically tie into what the book is doing. They're very impressive, but they're very distinct. And I like that we're talking about DC books in that way.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Let's jump into another DC book that has people talking. That's New Gods. New Gods number 4. Written by Rob V, of course, with art from Bernard Chang, Evan Cagle, Francesco Segala on colors, and Tom Napolitano on the letters. So in this issue, we get some um, High Father stuff pretty early on. It seems like we're watching the construction of like a giant mother box type thing. We're kind of getting more knowledge about the origin of the mother boxes. We continue on with the stuff with Mr. Miracle trying to get this baby. Bart is on the scene, but uh, Miracle's brother has given him enough time, and he has come to kill this damn baby by himself.
You should have called Absolute Batman for some help to kick it.
I don't know if this is a baby you're gonna keep down by kicking it, but Tyler, what'd you think of this issue?
I think it's great. I think the Bernard Chang of it all, telling like kind of the origins of New Genesis and all that, was a good intro to the book. It kind of gets you in because I've not read Fourth World. I know Cale's doing his dissection. Check out the Patreon. Plug. But I'm not too aware of it outside of Wikipedia articles and stuff that I've read elsewhere and I've wanted to look up quickly. So having kind of a lore to it and how this is like a power source that even predates Highfather and everyone on New Genesis, that's news to me. That's interesting to me because we've been talking about the old gods in the previous issue. So seeing all of the 3, 2, 1, all the other versions of the gods kind of have their, I guess, fingers in the pot for what this story is interesting to me. And I think once we're done with that and we go right into the present day stuff with, what was her name? The archer, who's essentially a Destiny character, like Shadowfall, like also a Destiny expansion, probably. um, that blew my mind. Like the way Evan Cagle can draw these panels, that page where she does volley from World of Warcraft and just shoots arrows in the sky and it rains upon a whole bunch of parademons. That blew my mind. I'm like, man, this is amazing. I loved it. And I think Evan Cagle, as each issue progresses, is really getting a feel for sequential art that is impressing me. And I really enjoy the way like Evan, like as much as I like Ron B and I love what Ron B's telling here, there's a big story. Once Evan Cagle shows up in each issue, I pop and I'm excited to see everything that he can do.
Cagle's art feels like that sequence. I felt like I had to do work to hear it, if that makes sense. Like the panels are sparse with SFX. Um, the ship landing, for example, like the I think that's one aspect of the art that, yes, he's dynamic and flexible, but still makes the pages feel a little um uh, um not as fluid. They flow into each other, but I do wish that I could hear things a bit more, more of the environment, more of the space that we're living in. Whereas I worry that sometimes it becomes like too posed. It's like a single page, a single panel. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, it's good. This book is good. I'm not vibing on it in the same way you guys
Compliment
have been.
sandwich coming up.
I don't know
Marco.
what I don't know what it is. I don't know. I love Rom. You know, it's not right. I'm not blown away, but I'm here. I'm reading his stuff. I trust him. I want to see if by the end of this next arc, he really hooks on to me with like something substantial.
You know what, Marco? I agree with you.
Oh, this is a flip flop from issue 3.
Not a flip flop per se. But I was thinking about this even before I read this issue. I would like to see. I think I would like to see just a little bit more clarity on the bigger workings. Especially with what's happening on New Genesis. That feels huge and important. And we're getting a lot of it, but we're not getting, like, we're dipping in and out of these mythologies that will inform all of that, but it just feels like we're just there and then we're not.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think that's sort of frustrating for me.
Do you think we're spending too much time in the preamble and the history book part of it rather than the present day?
Too much time? No, I love it. But I think I would like a little bit more like actual like present day context, for New Genesis.
I actually found that this was the issue of the book that I enjoyed the least so far.
I think I feel that way too. I got through it and I was like, is that it?
Yeah.
I almost read it again.
Dude, me too. Because I got to the end and I was like, eh?
Yeah.
That didn't feel like anything. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna read that again. Whatever I got out of it is what I got out of it. And I gotta say, the beginning with with High Father and the Mother Box, like, oh sure, fine, whatever. Um, there were cool moments, but overall, with this particular issue, is not necessarily my stance on the run. I think the first three were phenomenal, but I feel like it's got to have a little bit more propulsion with the mainline story. I don't want it to move too fast, but because we're only getting, we're it's not a 50-50 split, but we're spending a lot of time between both worlds, and one of those stories is different every week because we're seeing a different origin piece, and then we're seeing what's happening in the present day. I think that story needs to progress a little bit more.
Yeah.
Would you prefer a whole issue that was history lesson and then a whole issue that was present day?
No.
No, I like the interest. I like that this gets interspliced with that stuff. Like that. That's all well and good. It gives me, it makes the world that I'm about to step into grander. Love that. Don't change that. But I do agree that I want to know a bit more of the end goal. Like now that it looks like High Father's put on a fucking suit of armor. Cool. Why or where's that heading? And it's not directly being told to me, which is fine, but I think like even hinted out
like Darkseid's gone, and I understand they're being attacked, by parademons, and there are other people trying to make moves, but like, what's the is that the impact?
The impact, I think, is that power vacuum and that one weird dude
Yeah.
from the last issue trying to fill it. But I'm kind of with you. Where like I don't know how much of a threat he really is.
Yeah.
So I can see maybe needing a little more there too. Yeah.
And Highfather unleashing the power of his shepherd staff, like that seems like it should be a big deal. The God Surge, right?
Yeah.
That seems like it should be a really big deal. Like, to me, that read as him like giving up his power or unleashing it or something.
I thought he died. Like he
I
sacrificed
read I
himself.
read that way too. Yeah.
Oh, I read it as like, oh, he unlocked something in like the actual planet of New Genesis, that like giving everyone almost the life force of New Genesis. I was expecting like a Orion's hair to get longer. Like it felt like everyone had to go like Super Saiyan or something.
But like my problem with that, because I read it the same way, Tyler, but my problem with that was like, so what does that mean?
Yeah.
If everyone gets a power upgrade, then nobody gets a power upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah, like okay, shit, we can all go Super Saiyan. That's what's
Yeah.
up. But what is that? How does that work unless you're showing me an opposition that is stronger than that? And they got to show that.
We need to see that opposition a little more. Yeah.
It seems to have activated the baby or the kid, which is like cool, I guess. But I guess we just need more.
Yeah.
I will be interested to give this another shot physically, because like I said, I got through it now, and clearly it doesn't seem to have made that much of a difference, but I got through it and I went, was that it? And I've been reading stuff all day, and this was the last thing I read very specifically because it's New Gods. And this particular issue, just like Sean said, felt very underwhelming, but it's not, for me, it's not a reflection of the series.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not to say that there weren't cool moments, like Tyler pointed out earlier. This volley right here is super awesome. It made me think of the Spear of Justice, Izzy Spears, and his origin. But there are cool moments. I'm excited to get to the back half of this arc and see what the ramifications will be. What's up with this baby? Like it's not that I'm in a hurry up mode. It's just that I want answers and I want to see fallout. Darkseid's dead. What's the fallout? Let's see it. It should feel heavy, and it doesn't quite feel that way yet.
It's only issue 4.
Yeah. Pull.
Oh,
Pull.
Full.
All that. Pull.
I mean, I think
it's great.
It's fair
Yeah.
to critique good things we like still. Yeah. It wouldn't be a podcast if we're just like, oh, that was good. Let's talk about Sonic.
Silhouette says Rom said that the battle between Orion and Mr. Miracle / Barda that's coming up will show the powers of each and also show why they are gods, not just superheroes. That sounds fun.
Okay.
sick.
I would like to see that. I closed the poll and it disappeared. Do you guys see it?
Yeah. We've got polls at 48%, didn't buy or didn't read at 26%, pick of the week at 21%, and pass at 2. Y'all all over the place with this one.
I mean, that's still almost 75%. Or no, I'm reading that wrong. Okay. But that's still a majority positive. So that's good.
Yeah.
For sure.
As it should be. Banksy Main says Rom takes time to cook. Even his Detective Comics run, which I love, had several issues that weren't necessarily bangers, but overall it was superb. Yeah, I agree with that. I think there was a more like weird esoteric approach to that book where it was more acceptable that there would be issues that were very introverted and thoughtful and thought-provoking. Whereas, this has such a crazy inciting incident, the death of Darkseid, that I think you expect more immediately large events to occur out of that, and we haven't gotten that quite yet. So that's where my issue is. But again, I still feel like this is a tremendous comic month to month. It's just this issue that I didn't love as much. All right, as scripture says, it's time to go fast. We asked you to vote, and you quickly voted for the boy, the man, Sonic. You voted for Sonic. Justice League's in the book. Yeah. That's cool. But you voted for Sonic. You wanted us to go fast.
Close poll though. It's like 34 versus 32%.
Should have been bigger.
And we do have a poll up right now. Under the post tab on our YouTube page, we've got 4 big books on there. Amazing Spider-Man number 70. You guys clearly don't want anything to do with that book. Superman number 24. Justice League Unlimited 5. And we're taking everyone down with us, number 1. That, by the way, is a new Matthew Rosenberg series that is dropping next week. I know Matthew Rosenberg has been making the rounds trying to drum up excitement. And I didn't love What's the Furthest Place from Here, but I'm definitely going to give this one a try, whether it wins the poll or not.
Yeah, regardless of whether or not this wins the poll, I'm going to check this out for sure.
And this is with Tyler Boss?
No, this is with Stefano Landini.
Hmm.
Yeah. So make sure you guys cast your votes in the poll that is up right now. Let's talk about DC X Sonic the Hedgehog, though. Never thought I'd be talking about Sonic on this podcast, but hopefully my youth spent playing Sonic video games will finally be validated by this book. So we've got Ian Flynn on the words, Adam Bryce Thomas did the art, Matt Herms on the colors, Becca Carey on the letters. This book largely is an intro to everybody. It's giving us their meet cute moments, essentially. Team Sonic with Knuckles, Amy, Tails, Shadow, Silver, and then the Justice League. And, Darkseid is up to his shenanigans, and these groups have to team up to stop whatever his plot is. Cale, you were the least excited to read this. Tell me how much you loved it.
He's also the one that's frozen.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on with my internet right now.
I can hear you fine. So if you want to talk,
okay,
feel
good.
free. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my attitude did not change through this whole thing. This was exactly what I feared. Oh, what's up? I'm Sonic. I'm the Flash. We both run fast. Ah, man, miss me with this. Come on. This junior Bush League stuff. Look, that's it. That's it. The art was fun. If you got to look at them, I'm glad it was this way. I'm glad you guys liked it.
Who said I liked it? First of all, I didn't get to say what
I hope it was your pick of the week.
It was close. For me, this was when I opened this book, and it opens with a giant Darkseid head, a la Eggman's ship, and the title of the story is Chaos Crisis. I was like, hold on, this might be peak right now. That's dumb as shit. I love it. So it was close, but honestly, I thought this issue was a lot of fun. It did everything it was supposed to do. I think the smart move is making it set in the universe of Sonic. That allows the Flash to run in Green Hill Zone, which we get here. Love that. I think we're going to see a lot of cool landmarks that we don't see in DC Comics. We can see in Sonic stuff. So we got the Master Emerald, Green Hill Zone. I got to see a casino. Bring me to the casino.
You don't want to see Sonic go through Black Mask's head with his spikes.
I don't not want to see that, but not in this series. Maybe in the Sonic X DC book that comes out 2 years from now. But I was happy with it, and I think that introducing this core cast of characters. Yes, I know Big the Cat isn't in it, and that's a bit of a bummer. Neither is Team Chaotix, but I'll deal with whatever. And I like the way they paired people up. I think pairing Tails up with Cyborg and they're talking about, tech stuff and pairing Shadow up with Batman was genius. I think both of my favorite pages this week are Batman pages. It's Absolute Batman with the punting of the baby, and there's the one where Batman and Shadow are talking about their loved ones that they lost, which is the most hokey thing ever, and it was overwritten in the best way possible. I thought that was good. I had a lot of fun with this.
This kicked ass, man. Pick of the week. So much fun. Everything Tyler said, I 100% agree with. Uh, this was just silly. That's all I needed. I unplugged my brain and exactly what Cale said. I'm Flash. I'm Sonic. Let's race. I said, haha, done. That's it. That's all I need, dude. That's all I need.
Even the bit where the Flash gets him confused for like what Crackle, which
Yeah,
I
yeah.
looked up is DC's equivalent of Sonic. It's like this weird Speed Force character that is shaped like Sonic. It is in DC lore. I googled this shit. That was fun. That was a great little pull.
The silent page of Shadow and Batman.
So good. Everyone's like chatty, and then Batman and Shadow are just riding motorcycles. Hell yeah, into it.
I love this. This was mad fun. Mad fun. I mean, watch it like I'd never read a Sonic comic in my life, but seeing Sonic balled up in a comic, just whacking a parademon, like why? Why not?
Amy had the smoke for those parademons too with that hammer.
Hell
Oh,
yeah,
she was
dude.
whacking people.
This was fun as hell.
I did.
CW Gordon says Shadow didn't have a gun. 0 out of 10.
Yeah. I didn't like the eyes on the Justice League. That was my one critique of the art. Like the stylization of them in this like worked, but there were definitely moments where I'm like, okay, this doesn't fit the like cartooniness of Sonic for me.
because they're people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have
But-
much to say about this. I thought the art was really good. Actually, I thought the Sonic of it all was great. All these characters look great. Even Silver, who I don't like Silver. I think Silver is stupid. But I was like, all right, fine. I'll handle it. I think they jumped the shark with Silver.
I don't even know who the fuck Silver is.
He's from the future. He's got psychic powers. Or saying that, it sounds dumb.
He's a hedgehog.
In a
Future
book
hedgehog.
about superheroes and the hedgehogs meeting.
That's
This one's
stupid.
too dumb.
Across the board, they should have replaced him with Big, or they should have replaced him with Vector.
Yo, Gunnar panel of the week, bro. You saw one of his thighs, bro?
Yo, all right, chill. Put it away. Put it away. Hand check.
This is not the comic. You could have brought up
Yeah,
Big Barda's
the-
thick
the
ass
ch-
thighs
Uh,
in the
they
last
were
issue.
they
You
were
want to get
last
to the
issue for
kids'
sure.
book, talk about
Oh.
thighs.
I mean, I've read some Sonic fanfic that would disagree with you, Sean, but you know.
Oh,
Read some Sonic books that would disagree with
It's
you.
true. Also, canonically, I always forget the relationship between Amy and Sonic. Because he calls her like my closest best friend or in it. Like he totally friend zones her in this. And I'm like,
yeah. That's the relationship.
yeah.
He friend
okay, I
zones
forget
her,
about
and
that,
she's forever in love with him.
Pull, love it.
CW Gordon said, also, where was James Marsden, my favorite Sonic character? And you know what? That's the heat I'm bringing to this book.
You got to bring the dog too. The dog's great in those movies.
Yeah. Where's my human friend, the white guy?
The cop from Comedy Bang Bang, Adam Pally. He's great in the Sonic movie.
Yeah, pick of the week, man.
Honestly, it was really close for me. I think I came into this almost like a little trolly, being like, "Oh, this is my pick of the week." But then I was like, "Wait, no, I actually really did like it." But it wasn't until really talking about Absolute Batman, I was like, "All right, well, the craft of it all is better." But I did really, really enjoy this, and this is exactly what it should be, and I'm perfectly along for the ride for it. Like, Desaad isn't a Sonic book. How stupid is that? just telling Darkseid about how to capture the Chaos Emeralds. That is something 12-year-old me would have been crazy about.
I don't know if I'm gonna keep buying it though.
What would need to happen for you to keep buying this?
Nothing. I had fun. That's it. I'm good.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
candy?
actually in the. Were it not for the show, I would not have picked this up otherwise. And I had a great time with it. And I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna. What was this? $3.99. That was it. I can save $3.99.
Yeah, I'm kind of with. Oh no, I'm gonna keep reading this. I'm gonna go for it.
All
No,
right.
you're not.
I'm gonna wait till it comes out on what is it? The Infinite.
This is published by DC, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
not a Boom thing. Okay.
Right.
IDW.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys didn't give a shit about this book. Didn't buy or read is 50% of you. Pulls 25%, passes 13%. Somehow pick of the week is 11%. I know someone said they misclicked, and Marco probably put that as his pick of the week too. So
No, I did. I never vote in these.
Oh,
Liar.
really?
I never vote in these.
Liar.
I closed them
Okay.
immediately.
I didn't vote in this either. Yeah.
Unethical data collection.
Hayden's Hideout says, I need a Catwoman and Rogue the Bat. Yes,
Well,
I'll take
come on.
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
of course.
there's how you
I
get you
mean-
back in, Sean. Issue 2 if it has Rogue the Bat.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Where
Rogue
the
the Bat
hell
and
was
Zatanna
she,
show
dude?
up.
Oh.
Let's get her.
All right. Then.
Eggman and Lex. That's the combo I want to see, actually.
No, stop.
That's cool.
I want to see Metal Sonic.
Ooh, and who?
Red Tornado.
Cyborg Superman.
Fucking Metallo.
Oh yeah. Good.
It's fun
Did,
shit.
did we shout out Hayden's $5 super chat?
Nah. go for it.
Says, I'm sorry, Tyler. This was so bad. It's good in a Sharknado way. It's like fanfic pulled from the message board turned into a comic. I'm dropping it. Hey, man. It's all right. It's all right. Glad you picked it up. Glad DC got the bucks.
But like, you say that like Sharknado's bad. I like Sharknado. Like what you just said here until I'm dropping it is the reason I'm picking it up. Like that was a good pitch in my opinion.
Also, Hayden, are you like actually buying the Heat Seeker book? Because like this is just one of those books where it's like, how do you even walk out? How do you even go up to your register and be like, yeah, I'm buying this? Like I'll
It's
do
ju-
it for fucking I'll do it for oh my god, what's her name?
Red
Shit.
Sonja.
Not Red Sonja.
Vampirella.
Lady Death.
No. No. It's a creator I'm thinking of.
Mirko Andolfo.
Yes,
Yes.
Mirko Andolfo. I'll do it for a Mirko Andolfo book because those covers are crazy, but the books are good.
Hayden ain't walking up to his counter wearing sweatpants, that's for sure.
No. Wow. You're making multiple assumptions there, Tyler.
I made a lot of assumptions there, yeah.
Luna said this might be her pick of the month. Holy shit. That's a Sonic fan.
Look,
Sure
I'm
is
just
something.
glad you guys are having fun.
All right. Well, maybe you had more fun, Cale, with One World Under Doom #2. This is written by Ryan North with art by R.B. Silva, colors by David Curiel, letters by Travis Lanham. Dr. Doom has taken over the world, and the Fantastic Four are trying to figure out what his plans are. Like, what is the evil strategy that Doom is employing? You know, even as they watch him kind of do things that seem, you know, magnanimous and maybe even altruistic. They don't buy it. They don't believe in it. Um, you know, and it just doesn't seem real. Meanwhile, Valeria goes and asks Doom straight up because they have a relationship. Valeria being the daughter of Reed and Sue, you know, she goes up to Doom, who she considers her uncle, and says, "What is going on?" And he explains that, "Hey, who better than me to run the world? Like, I'm going to prove that I can do this better than all of them." And it seems as though the people of Earth are believing it so far. Kale, this was you like this more than Sonic,
Now,
right?
this was my pick of the week. We got Dr. Doom changing the world and backing it up. Steve Canaris asked, did Doom eliminate the Department of Education? No, my man enhanced it. He said, no, you're doing education and you're going to do it better or you're going to answer to me. And that's what I'm talking about. This is what politics needs. We need an evil villain who's the sorcerer supreme. I'm always saying this.
I remember. Yep. Yeah.
No, I genuinely really I had to catch up with this. But I really enjoy this book, and for once, I kind of think the heroes are in the wrong.
They totally are, and I love that that's the bit of it.
Yeah,
Like that they're like, oh, we gotta destroy his credibility. You know, he's too reliable. He's too consistent with this stuff. We gotta go prove to the world that he's wrong. Meanwhile, he's just like going around being like, nah, I think this is actually like ethical and very very liberal policies. They're like, no, don't.
they have to embarrass him to get
Eh,
him to reveal his great plan. It's like, I don't know, man. I think you might not be right.
Okay. Hmm. I my gut wants to make an argument that I always hate people making, but I'm gonna say it. It's a little preachy. For me, it was too wordy. Um, I'm with you, Kale. I like that premise. I like the premise of this book. I like how it paints Doom in a light that, like, on like the micro of it all is bad. That Doctor Doom is this guy who's done horrible shit for the world. Look at Secret Wars. Why are we letting him be emperor? I like that. But then it was like so much of the book was word bubbles, word bubbles, word bubbles, and telling me this and telling me this and telling me this, that it took away from the book from me. Um, and I think that like there are bits that I think were kind of funny. There was the Ryan North of it all with the Avengers, like the Avengers trying to find an Avengers solution to this. I thought was a funny bit. It's like, oh, it's got to be mind control. Oh, we checked that. Oh, is it robots? Well, no, it's not that. I thought that was a good bit, but I just felt there was so much of that in this that it took a little bit of the heat away that issue 1 left me with that I enjoyed. Um, that being said, my main gripe is not that, it's the art. Um, I like RB Silva. Is it David Curiel is the colorist on this?
Yeah.
Why does everyone have jaundice? Why do people not have faces? The coloring in this feels like the same, like a Salvador LaRocca kind of trying to add form to flat pencils that the inks don't do or the pencils don't do, and they're trying to do it in the color, which makes everything kind of feel a little bit clay or
Mm.
overly rendered in the coloring process that I do not like in comics, and I do not think it works for RB Silva at all. A lot of the faces, it's almost like the coloring was removing the features that the actual pencils had. Um, some of them, like you ever hit the paint tool on paint and the bucket tool,
Yeah.
and it overfills things, and it cuts out some black that you didn't want there, or it takes in some parts that you didn't want. I think that the coloring in this ruined a lot of the art for me, and it kind of took me away from it. I didn't like it at all. I think the actual story is good, and the premise I think is great. And seeing the Fantastic Four get chumped out, awesome. But the art really took it down for me.
Man, I do not see what you guys are seeing.
Look at the Avengers page where they're talking, and there's a page where they are. It's at the top panel of a page. It's a faraway shot, and you can see all the Avengers at the table. Captain Marvel does not have a face.
Mm.
Scarlet Witch does not have a face. And everyone's skin tone looks yellow. Maybe it's because I'm on digital, but if they are white or any kind of Caucasian, they're yellowish, and they look sickly.
I have not liked RB Silva and David Curiel as a combo in a while. The back half of Krakoa stuff, they were working
Yep.
together a lot, and I just didn't think it was a good match.
I felt the same way back then too. Yeah, good shout.
It was Loraz and Silva that traded off on House of Powers, right? And
Yeah.
then was it Marta Gracia that
Yeah.
brought them together?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. As an issue though, I mean, I thought this was solid. Like I like that, Valeria gets to have time with Doom, and we can essentially trust what he tells her. Like that's always been the impression I get from their relationship. So when he's talking to Valeria, he's telling the truth. And so, all right, this is a Doom with a different approach, so to speak. It still feels like Doom, and I think that's what I like about it. It's not he hasn't changed in some like big fundamental way. He's just trying a different approach, and it's actually working out. Um, and the heroes have to reconcile with the fact that they're wrong. I don't know that I think they're actually wrong because it's Doctor Doom, and I kind of these kinds of stories where people are accepting a villain as heroic who has killed countless people and done all those kind of crimes really, really just almost never work for me. But in this case, because Doom is already all powerful, it's like a get down or lay down situation. You can't stop this. So you might as well go along with it. And oh, by the way, it's actually working out. That I can get with.
And the thing that really sells it for me in that this feels like a true characterization is he admits that he's really only doing it for the glory.
Yep.
Like he wants the power and he wants the whole thing to work, and he knows that he's the only one who can do it. All he really wants is for people to go, oh yeah, Doom did this, all hail Doom.
And it's a
The
very
problem.
like if nobody else can do it, do it yourself situation. It's like a DIY thing, which is Doom at his core. And the whole bit where he's talking to Valeria, which I'm super happy they introduced in issue 2, because that's important. That kind of ties the other side of the Fantastic Four story in this.
Yeah.
And the idea that like he's going to give them a reason to be okay with it. He just doesn't have it yet. He's working on it. Sort of like I liked how that gave him a bit of a flaw that he would only show to Valeria. Like this is a character that he only would tell that to. And I like that because we're at least giving a little bit extra that our heroes don't have in terms of his motivation. And then that's the potential Achilles heel too that will take him out.
The biggest sort of happening in this issue is definitely the end, because I think it's a talky issue, and it's really just about like Doom waxing poetic. But the major event is that Doom restores Ben Grimm. He removes his affliction that makes him the thing, and now he's just Ben Grimm, which you know, is fine. I feel like we've seen this happen between these two exact characters multiple times. Multiple times. It happened in Secret Wars. It happens in movies. It happens in comics. It happens in TV shows. I've seen this a million times. So I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't feel weighty, even like, even if you don't know the context of it. I'm like, all right, whatever.
I almost feel like at this point this probably shouldn't even be weighty for the Fantastic Four, right? Like
Exactly. Yeah. Agreed.
Ben's got to be like, okay, when's the other shoe gonna drop?
Or
Like,
or even just like, hey, I've accepted who I am, and like, let's move on with my life.
Yeah, that you just hit on it. Like the book doesn't deal with the fallout of that, so I don't want to prejudge it. But I feel like in canon, Ben Grimm is past all that.
well, he
He
says
is.
that.
He says
That's
it in the
yeah.
book.
He
Yeah.
says that just in the page before the actual
Oh.
transformation.
My bad.
And he said, no, you're absolutely right. He says, don't listen to him, bud. I ain't mad at you anymore, and I ain't been for years. I made my peace with this. You understand? I like who I am now.
So yeah. So will this matter?
I don't even think we're gonna get the fallout of it in this series. I think the next issue of Fantastic Four is tackling it. So
Well, and I think this is just what this event is doing.
I
Like,
did like the one bit, I'll praise the art here for when that happens. There's a small panel on the next page where I think Johnny is holding up Ben's shorts because they don't fit him anymore.
sure.
I thought that was a good bit.
And then the like last page stinger for me, I don't know about you guys, but this was the wettest fart. It's revealed that like the Avengers are gonna work with villains. They brought on MODOK, Doc Ock, Baron Mordo, Mysterio, fucking Arcade,
They brought
fucking
on
huh?
Chaddock too. MODOK looking handsome. Well, as much as MODOK can. He has a nice jawline on him.
Suave. Yeah, man. I don't know. It was.
For me, it just goes to show like exactly what I was saying. It's just like, look, maybe Doom's right. If you guys are doing this, like,
Okay. In Civil War, when Team Iron Man and Team Cap both allow villains onto their teams. And they do it because of escalation. They do it because they realize on some level, like, we're just going to keep beating the shit out of each other. Let's bring on some people who don't mind beating the shit out of us. And it was bad and it was wrong. But it wasn't the first thing that happened.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened. And the first thing that the Avengers do is go get these people.
MODOK also being one of the people who a year ago was one of the heads of Orcus, and Storm is on this Avengers team.
Dude,
that's a great point.
there are multiple murderers on this team. World-ending threats. Baron Mordo is no joke.
Well, I think there's some like that makes sense. Baron Mordo makes sense because Sorcerer Supreme. There's a tie there. I think Doc Ock makes sense too. I think Goblin Queen, not the most evil of people, but
Magic.
Yeah, magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because there are heroes that they could get that they haven't even.
No, I don't
to.
disagree with that. Yeah.
Why
Yep.
are the Avengers doing this right away?
You should you should be worrying about Stingray and Hellcat, as your go-tos for that.
This feels exactly like Jed McKay's Avengers and the last one, Blood Hunt. It's just the Avengers rolling over and doing the absolute worst thing they can do after getting their asses kicked.
Also, what the fuck is Arcade gonna do that this level of Avengers can't do?
Yeah, they like if you look at this group of people, like, oh, I don't know, maybe you could get Brother Voodoo. I don't know, is Clea busy? Doctor Strange fucked off the Asgard for some reason. This issue makes that look a lot worse.
Yep.
Why did he leave them in the hands of Baron Mordo when these motherfuckers need help? They need help bad. Go ahead, Tyler.
No, and it's like this is like if you look at this core Avengers lineup, that is the most powerful the Avengers has ever been. Scarlet Witch, Storm, Captain Marvel,
Thor.
Thor is on and off, but yeah.
Well, but I mean that combination of people,
yeah, like that alone, that is like they're not all mutants, but that's Omega level. There's literally 2 Omega level mutants there.
4 gods walk into the Avengers mansion, and Doctor Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme.
But you know who we need? That one dude who makes
is a head.
Well, yeah, we need that one dude who just makes wacky fun time theme parks that kill people.
Man.
I'm gonna say pull, but this conversation and like the way we've gotten at this book, I just don't think this is it. I don't think it's it.
I think they're gonna and this might be where North is just gonna play these things for laughs. Like, I think it's gonna maintain potentially lighthearted in that, oh, you've teamed up with villains. Look, you're still trying to paint me, Doom, as the villain, but look at the irony. You've stooped so low, and it won't be of consequence. And then, the next thing will happen.
This story will end by Doom screwing Doom. Doom always screws Doom. That is the tale as old as time. But and as much as I bust the balls of the Stinger page here at the end, I do want to see what Ryan North does because I have faith in him as a writer. So I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to tell there. But what you said, Marco, is probably what's going to happen. That being said, I think it's still a pull for me. But the art, man, I would like it so much more if somebody else is on art, or even a different colorist on art. Honestly,
I'm pulling. This has been fun.
You know what? The conversation between Valeria and Doom had me really hyped, and it may be coming off of reading these two issues together, 1 and 2. But this was my pick of the week, at least until the last page.
Did you pass on Sonic, by the way?
Oh, big time.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
If that like didn't read was an option for me, you could put that too. Like,
Oh man. All right, let's see what you guys have to say about One World Under Doom. I'm bummed because I get really excited for Marvel events and I gotta stop fucking doing that. I gotta stop. Like the Avengers are sitting around. Doctor Doom is taking over Earth. The Avengers are sitting around, and Captain Marvel's bright ideas. Yeah, let's go get Doctor. Like fuck out of here. No, sorry.
What do
And
we
Tony
do?
Stark is there.
Yeah,
Tony
word.
Stark. He's the reason Goliath died, and he's cool with this. Come on.
But
I
Sean,
know
what
it's
do we
20
do?
years ago. Sorry, Marco.
Sean, what could we do? We're only the Avengers.
Right. Yeah. Let's not get let's not get Steve Rogers involved. Let's get Arcade instead. He'll help.
yeah, where did half of the Marvel people go? You know, the people that were Avengers. Where'd Spider-Man go?
That's right. A
busy
Squirrel
dying.
Girl, like, but all the people in the first issue, like, are not here anymore.
They don't care.
Squirrel had
Well,
class.
they saw universal healthcare came into action.
Yes,
and
I think
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
went,
might be. Yeah,
Spider-Man went, okay.
It would almost be more interesting to me if Doom's presence and power caused a schism within the superhero community that made some of them say, you know what? He's not wrong.
Yep.
those street level heroes are probably pro Doom at this point.
Somebody could be like, at least that might be compelling. Like there might be something to that, but no one's representing the other side yet, and so we're just watching heroes be dumb.
Yep.
Spider-Man's too busy getting killed 8 times in a row in a
that's
deaths
right.
issue. Yeah,
That's right.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's
Ben,
getting the healthcare.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
are you reading it, dude? I've read a lot of Spider-Man comics in my life. My man is fucked up.
Well, yeah, but he's
in
come back
dire
to
straits.
life.
It ain't good.
Well,
I don't
no.
want to do this anymore.
Healthcare's not. It's not pretty.
I read an issue of Spider-Man the other day where fucking Juggernaut and the X-Men were the main characters in the book because Peter Parker fucked completely off.
He just said, "I'm gonna
So,
get
listen.
coffee. I'm good."
That's what universal healthcare will do for you.
Hayden's Hideout says, "Has Doom enacted universal basic income?" I think he did in the first issue, actually.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a bit
yeah.
of UBI. Yeah,
Steve said that he brought the egg prices down to 99 cents a dozen. It's got my vote.
they're all green
Still
eggs now,
seems
though.
expensive
99 cents?
A dozen,
for eggs.
dude. There's it's an
Okay,
egg,
it's
a dollar.
chickens.
There's $1 an egg here right now. So
Ben loudly with the $2. Can't even buy eggs with that. Marvel's choosing Doom versus DC. He's choosing Doom. Are you referring to like One World Under Doom versus Absolute Power? Is that what you're getting at? I don't fully understand. Unless I'm missing something that you guys understood.
I'm gonna go with DC just to answer the question.
I would choose Doom in the situation.
I would have no choice but to choose Doom. Apparently, yeah.
Vote for Doom.
Scripture says, I mean, considering Raid on Grey Malkin was my first event, this clears that easily. Or is that not an event? I mean, people get very particular about what's an event, what's not. A very like by the books answer is that was a crossover, and that this is an event because it's taking place in one series unto itself. To me, They're all fucking events pretty much. And that one sucked. And I'm sorry that was your first. And there are much better ones than that hopefully you will get a chance to read. But yeah, this is also better than that. All right. Let's get through Bug Wars #2. This is the last book of the night. It's written by Jason Aaron with art by Mahmoud Asrar, letters by Becca Carey, colors by Matt Wilson. We read this a while ago in preparation for our Jason Aaron interview. We finally have it physically. We finally have it I don't even remember if that was even all colored and stuff.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay. And so with this issue, we see that Sid, the kid, the main character in this book, now he's fully entrenched in Bugland, which is just the lawn outside of his house. And you get more details about bug culture, at least this aspect of bug culture. It's very Thunderdome-ish. There's all kinds of almost like a gladiator type situation, and there are prisoners and stuff like that. There's leadership. Um, and yeah, this is all taking place in the fucking front lawn of this dude's house. And he's got an amulet that gives him powers, but it's not active right now. And so he just becomes a prisoner. And that pretty much wraps up what happened in this issue. Marco, where were you at with Bug Wars?
I liked it. I still liked it. Continuing from the first, where we're getting a bit more information. We're diving more into the bug world. He does get captured, but then he gets thrown into this coliseum. Cool. Let's get to see also the bugs around him. You know, it feels like you start to it feels like an RPG. You get thrown in with your upcoming team or cast or whatever it is, and I like that aspect of it. So yeah, this was just a solid book. I've been really impressed by Aaron's output recently across stuff like Superman, Turtles, this included. So I'm excited to keep reading this, and considering we get the uh, preview versions of these, I'm keeping up.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I really enjoyed this too. This is the same team that did Conan at Marvel when that relaunched. Mahmoud Asrar and Jason Aaron, and I really enjoyed that book. And there's shades of it here. It's that crossover with Honey I Shrunk the Kids, and this book does one of my favorite things in just fiction ever, and that's name places, name types of sects of people. Um, where they're walking, Sid's the main kid's name, right? Not the brother.
Slade.
Okay, yeah, Slade.
It's the brother that's Sid.
Yeah. So as they're walking Slade through this encampment in this city to go into the Bugderdome, they're just naming oh, here's the underbrush, which is the place where there's a whole bunch of that's the red light district essentially. And oh, and here's where they worship the mother, and it's just two action figures they're worshiping. I eat that shit up, even if it's bugs. I eat it up. So I thought that was really good stuff, and I just have confidence in this creative team. I've read their stuff before, and I've enjoyed it, and now this is them doing that without any kind of boundaries or barriers, and that's exciting to me. Yeah, this is an easy pickup for me. I would recommend this book too. I think it's super accessible. Only 2 issues at this point. It's a lot of fun, and we're kind of getting our supporting cast with issue 2. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
I like this. I think I like issue 1 more than issue 2 just because issue 1 had that sequence before they get blown away by the fucking lawnmower where Aaron was waxing poetic about the life of bugs and violence and all that, and I thought that was pretty cool. One thing I really dislike about stories like this is when you take something that is a weird, crazy concept, like bugs being, um, sentient in this way, and this kid getting into their world, and then you do something that we've seen a million times. That was the biggest problem for me. Was once they get down there, we're seeing how everything looks, and we're seeing the environment. It's yeah, but I feel like I've seen this just with humans.
Yep.
These are bugs. I want to see what bugs get into that's completely different. The first issue was giving that. This one wasn't, and so I wasn't as high on this as the first time.
Well, and for me, it's not just that; it's that all of the characters still look pretty human.
Yeah.
Like even if they act human to a degree, but they look like bugs. I'm down with that. Like, you've got your spider lady here, and then the ant lady with one arm. They, sort of look buggy, but then all of the beetle people that are surrounding the Thunderdome or whatever, like they all just look like people, but they're green.
Isn't that what ants did with Woody Allen?
But
No, they look like ants.
yeah, yeah. It's too like anthropomorphized.
They're all
I-
bipedal.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even think it's that. It's like they just look like green people.
They're not even all
Literally.
they're
Yeah.
not even all bipedal though, because the rhinoceros beetle is just a beetle. It's like goofy. It's a Goofy Pluto situation. What's going on here?
Exactly. Yeah. It just doesn't. Please.
Like, why can't she, the spider lady, just be a spider?
Yep.
Because I want to make out with the spider lady. That's why they got to make him.
Yeah, but go to Saga. Saga
Stop.
had a spider lady
Oh.
that was hot as hell.
Trust me,
Stop
I go to
being a
Saga
coward.
constantly. Okay, Cale says skill issue.
That spider lady in Saga was hot as shit. This
Yep.
one right here could have had way more legs and shit. Like, I just feel like go crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Stay commit to more of the bug design because it does feel basic.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a degree of like, who is it, Mahmoud Azrar
Yeah.
that's on the art. Maybe there's a degree of he's got to crank this stuff out to get the monthly pace, but also like it's an indie book, like make it come out when it comes out. But maybe that's just what he needs to do so that he can get the book out. And there are a crap ton of people, on these pages.
I also think in the future too, in terms of like emoting, it might be better to make them more human, so that when they do
Sure.
kill them off, there's a way to express that better. That's more empathetic for the reader.
Yeah, I mean, you can still do that with like a little, add a pincer on a face, like and a smile. I don't think that's
Yeah.
too far gone.
We've seen
Yeah.
plenty of comics and movies and stuff that do that. I think,
Junkyard Joe.
yeah, I'm really not willing to give grace in this case because it feels like an easy, like, not easy from a craft standpoint, just that we've seen that before. So why is this not going down that road? It's just frustrating more than anything, and it takes away from my feeling of this feels unique to me. Right now, it feels like anything I've seen before with a skin on it, and that isn't compelling. That's not a reason for me to buy comics, especially not non-big two comics. Um, that doesn't mean I hated it. I did like it. I think the story is interesting, and I want to see where it goes. But I just wish it was a little more varied.
I think it's fair.
Pull.
Pull. Yeah.
Pull, and I have the Yannick Paquette cover up that has full-on bugs with a little version of Slate. So, like that's what you guys wanted, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 I don't like that. Bugs are yucky. Maybe that's why I prefer this. I can actually stomach this book now.
Yeah, this is a pass for me. I found the first issue's dialogue also really grating between the actual human characters. The relationship between Sid and his brother, and then Sid and his brother and their mom. I just found it really uh easy. I need some quick family conflict here. And it felt bad, and I didn't like it. And so that really carried over, I think, into this issue as well. So it's just not for me.
Fair enough. Apparently, it's not for you guys either, because 54% of you didn't buy or read this, 35% did pull, 8% passed, and pick of the week was only 2%. So you guys not necessarily digging this right now. I wish I could speak higher of it, especially at $4.99. I just need something that's gonna do something that's different.
A little more palatable for me when it's image helps me out.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, and to the Chris here who said anyone read the new GI Joe or try the new Mouse Guard book. Mouse Guard is a perfect example of like the aesthetic that I think makes sense with those kinds of um, animals.
Totally. Go ahead, Gil.
Well, I was just gonna say, even to that to that end, like Titan is doing Conan right now, and it's actually really, really good.
What was the book we read? Was it Brubaker? No, it was Vaughn. I think it was called The Pride, maybe, where it was these
Yes.
animal that the
It's the Lions, yeah.
Yeah.
dude, straight up lions. Fucking loved it.
We three.
Yeah, I just
Yep.
don't think it's that hard. Like there are other comics that do that.
Yeah.
And my counter is bugs are gross. I don't want to see them.
Or let the bugs look like this, but let their world be something completely unique. Like something has to feel different. And I think that's my problem right now, is that it just feels like something I could get elsewhere.
Yeah. This just feels like Little Guy Wars.
Yeah.
I would read a
Exactly.
book called that, actually. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Of course you would.
You are. Well, not literally. What else? Noodle Meat, 1490 says, "How's it going, guys? New Gods and Absolute Batman were melt your face good this week. IMO.
This dude's username is what they used to call me in high school. Jeez.
Oh shit. Wow, that's quite the self-report.
Hey.
CW Gordon says Avatar was just blue people. That shit made $2 billion.
Here's the
But the
thing.
blue people, that's not true. The blue people looked very different.
I love Avatar.
Yeah.
I could talk your fucking face off about Avatar. So that's just tracks for me.
Avatar was sick. The blue people weren't just blue people, and there was a unique mechanism by which the
They
fucking
fucked.
guy
Oh.
became a blue person. That was pretty sick. They had their whole culture was unique. No, sorry.
I didn't know you were
Nice try.
an Avatar head, Sean Sivako.
Whoa, bro.
Oh, okay.
I like
All
the
Bless
movie.
you.
All right, sorry.
he said, hold on.
I don't know the language. I'm not that big into it. But yeah, those are the reviews this week. Pretty decent week. Pretty decent week. I am very excited for Absolute Martian Manhunter though next week.
You just got me excited for Absolute Manhunter, the other character. I was like, ooh, that sounds fun.
That
What's her
would
name?
be,
Kate.
that would be
What's her face?
incredible.
Yeah, she's great.
Just one word of difference there makes all the difference. Um Let's get into the stack. Let's do the stack. This is the segment that we do here every week because I buy a lot of comics, and you guys get to vote to determine how many books I bought this week, and whoever's closest without going over can win the code for one of the Marvel books that I bought this week, or you can win the vaunted no prize. Uh, I had some trouble at my fucking LCS this week.
Oh, what else is new?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a great point.
Did you try asking for fresh ones this time? Like right out the fryer?
Actually, I did that at McDonald's this week.
Always ask for fresh fries.
That might be me after the show, honestly.
Hell yeah. Dude, like I really want to go to my LCS with a fucking lasso at this point. Because why are teenagers? First of all, teenagers don't read comics. So I don't even understand why I'm engaged, why I'm seeing teenagers at my shop. But why are teenagers walking into the fucking shop and like standing there reading reading a book, then as I'm moving, grabbing another book. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I missed out on several books this week from my stack because these fuckers would not get out of my way. Every area, every section I went to, these fucking teens were there. And they just wouldn't move.
Wow.
Okay, a couple things here, Sean. A, there's teams there because you're in the tourism capital of the world. At a store that has Batman and Spider-Man logos on it. Probably going to attract
I didn't
them.
actually need an explanation of why there were teens.
But I'm going to say next time, you need to do some biological warfare. You need to like crop dust that whole row, clear them out.
You smell
disagree.
teenagers?
That's true.
Yeah,
they
that
can't
won't
smell.
work.
Yeah.
Yo, come just a couple stops down. Beautiful experiences, a lot of space, a lot of room. I got to skim through all of the issues that I needed, and as I went to the back ones,
Did you go to Forbidden Planet?
yeah.
Yeah, I like
I grabbed it.
Oh,
I was like,
love Forbidden Planet.
I was like, oh, good cover. Oh, this one's bent. Let me put this one back. Let me get the extra ones.
You talk to the
Easy.
employees there; they're pretty chill.
Oh no, actually that's you know what? The guy who rung me up, he said, "Oh yeah, so like, New Gods, it's been good." I'm like, "You know what, man? I'm not 100% there. Let's see if this issue changes it for me." And then he said, "I've been working my way back. It's not like Kirby. I'm doing a whole repull." I said, "Well, my mate, he's doing it too." He
Mate,
says he's
this is new lore.
well, Cale Ward is working his way backwards. I'm like, oh,
Oh no,
he's doing it
I
too.
meant like I thought you guys were mating, and I realized this is a
Yeah, we are.
term now. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That's,
All right,
that's
confirmed.
not new.
Got it. Cool.
Good stuff. Good experience. Come to the store.
Forbidden Planet rules, dude. That's my spot.
It's easy.
If we're talking Manhattan, that's probably my spot. Yeah.
I'm happy you had a good experience, Marco.
Me too, man.
I truly am. And you know what else I didn't like, by the way? Normally I wouldn't say this, but they play the radio at this place, and that's fine. Radio's good. But why the fuck did a commercial come on the radio that was literally just Donald Trump propaganda? That's all it was. It was crazy.
Was
I've never
this
heard anything like that about my life in my life.
Radio or like a Pandora Spotify? Could you
I
tell?
don't know, bro. it's just music playing. I don't know. But a commercial came on and it was that, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Was there like a disc jockey talking in between songs? Or was it just
No.
music? Okay. You know what? Here's the thing. Then that's generated by whoever's putting that on there. That's their
Wow.
algorithm giving them those ads.
Wow.
They play bangers at Forbidden Planet. Just saying.
You know what? That's also true. You know what? And 2 buildings down, the Bean, great coffee shop.
Good coffee shop. There's a
Good
good
coffee.
there's a good trading card and board game shop right across the street too from Forbidden Planet.
Yeah.
It's a
Never had a
cafe.
coffee
It's a
in my life.
cafe and a board game spot where you can play cards and have a coffee.
Wow.
Black.
I'm missing out.
You can have a black.
Because he won't go 2 stops down.
What's it called?
The board game shop. Give me like 2 seconds to look it up.
Yeah, I don't care about coffee, but board games, that I like. That I
Ah,
like.
I played Catan for the first time ever.
Never played
That's
that.
fun.
It's
It's
a
good,
Hex
yeah.
and Company, Sean. They even have
Oh, Hex and Co.
Yeah, Hex and Co. They have some rooms in the back too that you can do like D&D and like rent out for people to show up at.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are cool. They have so many games.
I played
you rent
Lorcana
it out.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun spot.
Sick. I just can't do it, man. I can't quit my LCS. I just can't. Marowak Oscuro says it's time to open your own LCS. That was my dream, man. I remember when my actual local comic shop closed. I had a shop that was 2 blocks away from me. Bulletproof Comics. That was the best.
Good name,
man.
too.
But I wasn't even into comics at that time.
Does doing the
Bulletproof.
show kill that dream for you? In terms of like too much now.
No way, man. I want to open up a shop. You kidding me?
I would love to open up a shop. I mean, the reason people open up comic shops is not because it's smart. It's because they love comics, and that would be my reasoning.
Well, Sean,
It's not a
Bulletproof.
moneymaker.
There's a Bulletproof in Brooklyn though, right?
Yeah, it's a long story, but short version is there were 2 owners of Bulletproof. They split up, and now there's one Bulletproof in Brooklyn. There's actually one in the Bronx on 230 something or 215, somewhere in there. So but
Okay.
same Bulletproof.
Ah, okay.
All right, Cale, you want to get those numbers for us?
Yeah, we got him. All right. This week, thanks for playing. First off, we've got Steve Canaris, who came in early with 18. And then we got to drop down several years to Near, who's way far away from Steve Canaris, but he says 18 for the stack, so he's too late. Scripture says 16. Rami Darwish says 15. James Jones can't be the perennial winner this time. He says 18. Monster Design came in with 17, but C.W. Gordon came up right behind, says 17. Jack Cloutier says 14. Hayden's Hideout says 20. Marowak Escuro says 20. Sean Ali says 14. Justin says 16. Noodle Meat 1490, 16. Carlos says 13. Meyer HQ says 18. Matt Cosmo says 19. And Kyle says 15. Are there anyone else? No.
All right, let's get it done then. We've got the 6 we talked about on the show, and then G.I. Joe, number 6. You know
That's
I
a
had
good
to get
cover.
that
Is that a-
Baroness.
Listen, come on.
What cover is that? Is that a Sook cover?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, nailed
there
it
we
in
go.
one.
It'll be Sook when he's done with it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Out of Alcatraz, number 1.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I-
Wait, Tyler Crook?
Oh yeah, Marco,
Yes.
you weren't on Cal's
Yeah.
previews this week. This is a U book. It's
Yeah.
Cantwell and Crook talking about people escaping Alcatraz.
Tyler, you see the speaking of Cantwell, you see the Star Trek ad for
Red shirts?
the new books?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
Cantwell.
Yep. I'm ready for that book. That's gonna be fun.
Yep.
This was excellent. Excellent.
Oh man, okay.
After Absolute Batman, this was my pick of the week.
Sick. It's on my
outside.
list. Yeah.
Damn, I gotta go pick that up.
Crazy good. On Pal's Previews, which drops every Monday at 1 p.m., I put out a challenge and I asked you guys to tell me what books you think I should read. And a few of you commented about this one, so I bought it. The Last Boy. This is Dan
Oh.
Panosian.
Okay. He's doing
Oh.
art?
He's writing it, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
The artist Alessio Avallone. And I didn't know what the hell this was going to be about. I just went off the listener saying to buy it. It's a Peter Pan, Tinker Bell story, but Tinker Bell is like whispering lies to Peter Pan and making him fight with the Captain Hook when she's not telling him the whole truth. So it's a really interesting book. Very twisty. I didn't expect that.
BJ described it as Old Man Peter Pan.
I could see why he would say that. Yeah, it's not quite that, but I can see why he
Yeah.
would say that. Rockefellers number 4, The Power Fantasy issue 7,
Reading
The
that later.
Sacrificers number 15, Saga 72. I think Tyler said this was the finale issue
Of this
the,
arc, yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine number 3, Miles Morales Spider-Man 31, X-Force number 9 of 10.
Just in time
Good.
for a tie-in.
Right, exactly. Batman and Robin year 1 number, what are we up to? Number 6.
Nice.
Catwoman 74, Nightwing number 124, and Challengers of the Unknown number 4.
Wow.
Snap. I don't think anybody got it this week. Oh, nope.
That's
We got
20.
Hayden. Yeah, that's 20. Hayden got it first. That's Hayden on 20, and then Marowak Escuro 20
Nice.
on the dot.
Nice. If you guys want any of these Marvel codes, I mean, I didn't buy too much Marvel this week, but if you want any, feel free to reach out. We've got Daredevil, Wolverine, Spider-Man.
Daredevil Wolverine, huh?
Oh, Deadpool, Wolverine. I've actually got Daredevil on the brain because I've been keeping up with the show week to week. It's been pretty good, man. I don't know if any of you guys are watching it, but we don't need to spoil anything. But if anybody's watching,
It's filmed a lot in my hometown, so there's some bits there. Especially all the courtrooms. That's Yonkers City Court, where they filmed near me. It's really good. I enjoy it.
hell yeah.
Waiting to binge it.
I'm at the tail end of X-Files season 8. So my watching habits still haven't passed 2005.
Marco, did you buy anything other than what was on the stack this week, like for the show?
World's Finest.
Wait, hold on. Let's do the Marco stack. Come on, show us.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I gotta go to the other room for that.
Then never mind.
Just tell us.
Get out of here.
World's Finest, Saga Volume 1, because Jade, my girlfriend, she wants to read. She looked interested in it, wants to read it. The Fade, issue 2. Ooh, and there was one more thing that I'm forgetting, but small stack.
Did you buy the
9.
compact saga?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I,
Yeah.
I didn't know that they had. I forgot that they had those.
Yeah, they're doing
So-
like the digest size. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna pick one of those up from one of my friends. Yeah.
It's clean, man.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Is that a new thing with? Are they just doing it with Saga specifically, or?
I
It's
don't
just
know.
Saga specifically right now.
Is it okay? Yeah.
Yep.
Which I mean, it's the
Which-
same price as getting the full version, but that feels to me more like more like a smaller like a YA book or something.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
it,
to
fe-
appeal to
it
a certain
feels good to
audience.
fit in the hand. I can hold it. It's mobile. Feels more the end pages don't flop as much. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll definitely pick one of those up for sure.
What's that book you just held up?
Oh,
Shout that out.
this is Kristen Goodsnook, Making Friends. This is the third one of this. The second one's over here. But I keep up with YA books every once in a while. This is a graphics, Scholastic imprint. A lot of fun. Actually, one of my Patreon newsletters, I reviewed the first one of this, and it's a really good, just like story about a girl finding her confidence, making new friends. Real fun, cute.
Sick.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Invincible is doing it as well. Yeah, that's another good series to do that with. For sure.
Nice.
Digest volume, that appeal to the manga friends.
All right, guys. The next time that we are going to be hanging out is Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern, and it'll be us, but it will also be Adam Freeman, who's going to come and share his wisdom about the comics industry. You're talking about somebody who has worked in it. I think what was his number, like 40 years, some really long period of time. And he's going to talk to us about the ways in which comics can bounce back and what the industry needs to do, not to survive, because it's surviving right now, but to thrive. So come listen for that. And then, of course, next week is a massive, massive week in comics. We've got a lot to talk about. Batman Hush 2 starts next week, and a whole bunch of other books. And you can find out about those on Pals Previews this Monday at 1 p.m. So we will see you Saturday. Until then, take care, guys.
See you next week.